Hey guys, welcome to another video. This one's a preview for Man United's game against Liverpool, which is tomorrow, obviously Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Huge game for us. Obviously early in the week we beat Atlanta. Brilliant game all in all in terms of excitement, but probably not the performance that we were hoping for. We were a bit wasteful with our opportunities and we probably leaked too many big chances to Atlanta. It's definitely a step in the right direction, I would say, in terms of our performance levels, creating more opportunities. We did defend a bit better than in previous games, particularly the Leicester game, which was abysmal. But we move on to this weekend's game, tougher opposition, and it's really another must-win game for Solskjaer. You look at it and think, okay, the Atlanta game was an improvement, but we have a lot of big fixtures ahead of us. We knew this coming into the season, that this was going to be the tough phase. Ideally, we wanted to enter this phase with a little bit of a cushion, having taken more points, particularly in the Premier League, and still being in the Carabao Cup, but that wasn't meant to be. So it really puts a bit more pressure on these fixtures. Liverpool are in brilliant form, particularly Mo Salah. Watching them against Atletico, I did feel like Atletico had a fair amount of joy. And the red card did change things for them. So, we could take some inspiration from that performance and actually maybe go into this fixture thinking a bit more positively than maybe a week ago, particularly after the Leicester game when we were thinking this fixture could be, maybe one of the last fixtures Solskjaer would have as our manager. But, the way things turn and move so quickly in football, right now, it looks a bit better than last week. Anyway, going to this fixture, we are in 8th place currently. So this is midway through the 3 o'clock fixtures. I think Wolves are currently winning 1-0, which puts them above us. Chelsea have obviously beat Norwich 7-0, absolute thrashing. Obviously they went down to 10 men, but they still beat them, really convincingly. Arsenal won last night, putting them on the same points as us. We obviously have this game in hand, and we need to really utilise this. It's not a case of us saying, yeah, Liverpool are probably going to win the title. They will definitely be title contenders, and so a draw will do. Like, we really do need to be getting 3 points, going really above and beyond our expectations. In these fixtures. So yeah, I do think there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of riding on this game. We could perhaps be 10th place after 9 games if we lose this game. So it's important that we perform. And I'm a little bit optimistic, but I'll get into that a bit later. So I watched Solskjaer's press conference yesterday, and there wasn't really too much to glean from that, other than the fact we have 2 or 3 knocks by the sounds of it, particularly Bruno Fernandes and Fred, who you'd imagine would be starting if they were 100% fit. So that may throw a bit of a curveball with our starting lineup. Aside from that, there really wasn't too much that he mentioned that was of note. In terms of how I see this game going, I did mention I am a little bit optimistic all in all. For us, our best performances have generally come playing on the counter attack. Playing against teams who like to play possession, who play expansive football, that leaves space for us to cause damage. Particularly with Rashford being back, and we saw the runs he was making earlier in the week. He could really do damage to high defensive lines, and when there is space left in behind. So I think it is possible, and I'm a little bit optimistic that we could cause Liverpool problems and even get a result. In terms of the 11 I want to play, I'd actually like to see us switch to 3 at the back. I know it's a bit controversial. We haven't really played that too much, but I think it could work really well for us for a few reasons. But I'll go through the lineup that I'd like to see. So I want Lindelof right centre back, Maguire middle centre back, left centre back Shaw, left wing back Telles, right wing back Dalot, in the middle Pogba and Matic, Lingard in front of them, and then Rashford and Cavani up front as almost like split strikers. I think that will work really well for us. I wouldn't mind, switching Cavani for Ronaldo. My main thing with that is just I felt as though Ronaldo worked quite a bit on Wednesday, and it's really important that we have people that are physically up to the task. We really need a tenacity, work rate against this Liverpool side. So I wouldn't mind if Cavani started. I think he's been pretty promising when he has appeared for us this season. Now, the reason why I've said the three at the back, like I did say, we haven't really played that much, but I think our centre backs, particularly if we have Shaw there, who's doing most of the defensive work, they could mark the likes of Salah. Obviously, he's in amazing form, and it's very difficult for one man to handle that. But if we have a sort of a narrowish centre back who's good one-on-one, like Luke Shaw, that could work really well in trying to snuff out their strengths. On top of that, having two wing backs offers width, and one of the problems we've had is actually just us playing a bit too narrow. And I think the fullbacks the wing backs in particular, they'll have more of an awareness defensively, whereas sometimes when we play four at the back, our attackers, the two wingers, end up being a bit too high up and neglecting the defensive responsibilities. So I think having Telles, having Dalot there, they'll be mindful of the opposite men, who in this case would be Trent and Robertson. So again, we could be sort of snuffing out their strengths, i.e. those fullbacks, and also bringing to the fore some qualities that I think we need to see more in our game, which is the width, as I mentioned. I guess one that takes maybe the attention will be Lingard, him being in place of Bruno. I'm really anticipating Bruno not being fit for this game. And I think Lingard's super confident, super fit. Every time he's played, for me, I think he's looked really promising. And you think back to seasons before, he's been a real big game player for us, really turned up, really committed to doing a certain job for us. And I think in a game like this, he could do really well, understands the fixture, full of confidence, really fit, and looks in good form when he does play. So I would like to see Lingard play in that 10. The thing that we miss, maybe Lingard in comparison to Bruno, is that weight of pass in the final third. But that's why I like having Pogba in that almost pivot kind of, the two centre mid positions, and Matic there. They're both competent passers of the ball. They can bring up that level of passing needed into the final third, while Lingard can, bring his qualities to the game. And then Rashford up front, it's a no-brainer. I'd like to see him maybe inside left channel, space vacated by Trent. He could do a lot of damage, and maybe that Lindelof to Rashford connection could bear fruit. And then Cavani, his fitness, his press, his link-up play could all work really well. You've got Lingard who can be making runs off him. So that'll be my 11th. I think that will work really well for us. I hope he goes with that. Although, if I'm honest, I reckon he'll probably stick to his four at the back formation. McFred in the middle, Fernandes as the 10, probably Rashford on the left, or right actually, and then Pogba on the left, with Ronaldo up top. I reckon he'll go for that sort of system. But as I mentioned, the 3 is what I would prefer to see. Anyway, that's my preview for the game. That's how I see things going. I really think this is an important fixture for us. Hopefully we come out with 3 points. I'll be doing my review after the game, so tune in for that. And I'll see you then.